I'm Lena and today I'm going to show you how to etch beer glasses using versatile and user-friendly StencilPro. First, you have to choose your artwork. I've decided to go with quotes from famous people about drinking beer since I am etching these beer glasses today. When working with etching cream, it's important to use protective gear just in case. So in my case, I'm using the protective eyeglasses as well as the chemical resistant gloves. I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways of using StencilPro stencils to etch glasses. But first of all, what we have to do is make our stencil. Get your transparency ready. Put it face up on top of the clear acrylic in our contact frame. Now making sure that you keep the StencilPro inside the very opaque box. I'm going to quickly take it out. You really need to make sure that you work in a very dimly lit room. Put the StencilPro on top of the transparency. Cover it up with a black acrylic top. Turn it over. Now put the light box over. Set the timer. Make sure to follow the instructions on the box and then start the timer. Time is up. Now we're going to take the stencil out, place it inside the opaque box to wash out. So I'm using a soft brush, just dip it lightly in the water. You can actually already see a little bit of an outline of the text here on the stencil. Now recover, making sure that it doesn't have any light affecting it at this point. Then set your timer to 10 minutes. Now that we soaked our stencil for 10 minutes, I'm going to transfer the stencil to the plastic canvas for washing out. Now that we washed out our stencil, we need to re-expose it to light for another 10 minutes to harden. Now that I have my StencilPro stencil ready to go, what I need to do is I need to cut out each quotation to be etched on each of the 4 glasses.
Sparkle burn a whole town up. That old well is plumb dry. The city put a limit on the water you can buy. We don't mind, 'cause round here we save water and drink beer.
And now I have 4 stencils ready for etching. So now you have to make sure that the glass surface is completely free of any fingerprints or lint, anything that could interfere with the final result. Make sure before etching that the glass is completely dry. Now lightly spray the 2 stencils from about 12 inches away, very light. And now I'm going to let it dry a little bit before applying it to the glass. I'm going to be aligning and pressing down my stencil onto the glass. I'm going to make sure that there are no bubbles. Now masking tape is optional, but I'm going to be using it still. You don't have to, but I like to tape my edges to make sure that the etching cream does not run off the edges of the stencil onto the glass and ruin my work.
It ain't rained in 4 months. One cigarette spark will burn a whole town up.
We dip or rinse dry StencilPro stencil in water. We do not soak it. So in my case, I already have it wet. Now blot it between the paper towels. When it's slightly damp, it becomes tacky and adheres to glass surfaces. For the third and final technique, this is great for cylindrical or flat glass surfaces. Place StencilPro stencil on glass surface. Place tape around edges of the stencil and make sure there are no gaps between stencil and glass. Otherwise, the etching cream is going to bleed under the stencil. I have my chemical resistant gloves on and eye protection. I'm ready to etch. I'm going to be using Armor Etch glass etching cream, following the manufacturer's instructions. First, I'm going to shake the etching cream just to make sure that it mixes well. I'm going to be using the medium stiff chisel paintbrush to apply the etching cream. Brush a thin coat of etching cream on the stencil just to get that first layer going. Then you really want to make sure that you dab a generous amount of cream after spreading a thin layer. Just to make sure that you have enough coverage. Do not leave the stencil on the glass for too long. Do not let it dry. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit of bleeding going here. That's why I like to use my masking tape, even though sometimes I don't really need it. So, and according to Armor Etch manufacturer instructions, I only have to leave the etching cream on the glass for 1 minute. So make sure to set your timer. So wash your stencil under warm tap water. Use the brush to remove etching cream. While still washing my stencil under running water, under tap water, very important to remove the stencil as the water is running down it. First the tape, then the stencil itself. Then make sure to wash the glass with warm soapy water and blot it to dry. Repeat the same steps with the remaining 3 glasses. I'm Lina. Thank you for watching. See you next time.